Shalom, shalom. The title of this lesson is The Importance of Continuous Dedication to Teaching the Work of Yahawah Yahawashi. I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahawah Yahawashi, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elder apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well and teach well through the Spirit. And a mighty shalom to the hopeful elect that are scattered four corners of the earth in the same spirit. Lord willing that you continue in sound doctrine as a whole. Shalom to the Akwaf, the sisters of his faith and his truth. Lord willing you continue to pursue your lot, being a loving and silent and virtuous wife. And Lord willing, Yahawah Yahawashi has mercy on the other brothers and sisters that's not the faith. This is this lesson is truly inspired by this post or comment I came across by the brother Yahawah Ban Ashar Salaki on the pronunciation of the brother's name. But you can see on the screen what he said. I am no longer in Genesis, under Deacon and Hassad. No love lost to all the brothers in Genesis. I just can't get with the get down. I'm taking a break for a month. Then I'm getting back outside to put my brick in. Shout out to all the camps. Shalom. Now, what inspired me is the point that the brother said he was taking a break. Now, I could do another lesson on him leaving Genesis and not getting down with the get down with that bullshit doctrine that came up that Gentiles can get salvation too. They changed their doctrine. They changed the teaching. But I want to focus on I'm taking a break for a month. Ain't no such thing as a break in this truth. We understand when we go to I believe 2 Timothy 4, it tells you not to neglect the gift that's within you. So we need to understand the significance of constantly engaging in the work of Yahawah and Yahawashi, especially in teaching others. Nobody should be getting in the way of, us teaching. You got men saying they a man of the Lord or a prophet, but ready to take a break, not being constant, right? So this is, I'm going to go to the book of Matthew, the 28th chapter. This is Matthew chapter 28, starting at verse 18. It says, And Yahawashi came and spake unto them, saying, All power is given unto me in heaven and in earth. Go ye therefore and teach all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Ghost, teaching them to observe all things whatsoever I have commanded you. And lo, I am with you always, even unto the end of the world. Now, when you understand Amos 9:11, the Lord is raising or rebuilding the tabernacles of David, that have been ruined, which is this church, assembly of Israelites, the 12 tribes of Israel. So the men of the Lord is going out teaching all nations because Israelites is scattered four corners of the earth. You're teaching the volume of the book throughout 7 days of the week, 30 days in a month, throughout 356 so-called days in a year. Being diligent and to be a disciple, is to be a student, a learner, a pupil, right? So the Great Commission emphasizes to call to teach the disciples. First, you men. And teaching is not just a task, it's a divine command, especially for the men of the Lord. Let's go to what Yahawashi told Peter, which over here we truly believe the apostles, the prophets, the evangelists, the teachers of his scriptures is back on the earth. So this is St. John, the 15th chapter, in verse 15. So when they had dined, Yahawashi saith unto Simon Peter, Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me more than these? He saith unto him, Yea, Lord, thou knowest that I love thee. He saith unto him, Feed my lambs. And he saith to him again the second time, Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me? He saith unto him, Yea, Lord, thou knowest that I love thee. He saith unto him, Feed my sheep. And he saith unto him the third time, Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me? Peter was grieved because he said unto him the third time, Lovest thou me? And he said unto him, Lord, thou knowest all things. Thou knowest that I love thee. Yahawashi said unto him, Feed my sheep. Now, through the Spirit, you got to understand how stubborn Jake is, especially when we go to the law, statutes, commandments. We go into the prophets. Jake is a rebellious, stiff-necked nation. We see in Baruch, he said he knew that. Let me just get that real quick, right? Jake is stubborn, right? So you got to tell Jake 3 times, right? Let me get this real quick, man. No man should even allow it to come out their mouth. Let me take a break, because, some brothers become quitters, taking a damn break. This is Baruch chapter 2 and verse 30. For I knew that they would not hear me, because it is a stiff-necked people. But in the land of their captivities, they shall remember themselves. Jake is stiff-necked, and some of us become lazy. This is why he tell you in Proverbs 6, study the ant, right? So teaching is a responsibility, especially as believers. We are entrusted with the truth and are responsible for sharing it. You know how like when you watch a video, you got the like button, the dislike button, and the share button, and you sharing this on your YouTube channel, or you sharing this with people on your social media. If you use Facebook, if you're using Instagram, if you're using TikTok, right, you're sharing it, or you screen record some of it and you sending it out on your channels, right? You're sharing it. But that's the same as teaching this word. We're sharing it. Okay? So this is spiritual work. And this work requires ongoing commitment. Okay? So like a soldier in battle, we must remain vigilant and active, right? Because if you're not vigilant, right, basically being alert, being cautious, right, being active, how can you fulfill what Ezekiel, the 33rd chapter says? Let me go to it. You got some brothers talking about a break. You got some brothers standing on the line that never taught, and they think they a prophet. And they just standing on the line, right? This is Ezekiel chapter 33, verse 1. Again, the word of Yahawah came unto me, saying, Son of man, speak to the children of thy people, say unto them, when I bring the sword upon the land, if the people of the land take a man of their coast and set him for their watchman, if when he seeth the sword come upon the land, he blow the trumpet and warn the people, then whosoever heareth the sound of the trumpet and taketh not warning, if the sword come and take him away, his blood shall be upon his own head, right? We supposed to be warning them of the sword that's coming. Let's get the next verse. He heard the sound of the trumpet and took not warning, his blood shall be upon him. But he that taketh warning shall deliver his soul. But if the watchman see the sword come and blow not the trumpet, and the people be not warned, if the sword come and take any person from among them, he is taken away in his iniquity, but his blood will I require at the watchman's hand, right? Where you're held accountable in this thing, and you can't even call yourself a watchman no more if literally you taking breaks from watching. The heck you think this shit is a part-time job? No, this is all the way into the coming of Yahawashi. Just because it's a feminine word, don't get it twisted and think brothers is not gonna be either still teaching, right, bringing out the word to their family, right? It's going to be women cleaving to the men of the Lord in that time, right? You might see other brothers, other children that might cleave. You're going to be bringing out the word because People are still going to need that assurance. People are still going to have to hear the words of Yahawah Shemashai. It's going to be the elect praying, and the men of the Lord, the Lord is going to, increase the Rakah Kwadash in them, where they're going to have spiritual powers, healing people, doing certain miraculous things by the power of Yahawah B'Shem Yahawashi. Okay? So, we got to understand when we go to 2 Timothy, the 4th chapter, Paul's letters often emphasize of perseverance in the ministry. So let me get this. Second Timothy chapter 4 and verse 2. It says, preach the word, be instant in season, out of season, reprove, rebuke, exhort with all long suffering in doctrine, right? In season, out of season. Even if you laboring with a congregation and your elder and your leader is teaching some bullshit, now you have to go back to the drawing board. But the things, especially if we want to be frank, if they speaking salvation is, the Gentiles can get salvation, right? We talking about the other nations, and you don't agree with that, then you should still be teaching that salvation is only for the Israelites. Now you separate from those that are false teachers, and now you start still teaching what you know, right? And then eventually, if the Rakah Kwadash is dealing with you, the Lord is going to lead you to the real men of the Lord. Every day you're always learning. Every day we're able to see that Yahawah Shemashai word is true. It's going to be rising of men that are lovers of themselves. Where is it at? This is 2 Timothy 3 and 4. Traitors, heedy, high-minded, lovers of pleasures, more than lovers of the Most High. You got some brothers in here that's lovers of pleasure than Yahawah B'Shem Shai. They love money, right? Even when we go into what is it? 1 Timothy the 6th chapter, right? The love of money is the root of all evil. It's brothers that come in this thing and they're about money, right? And guess what? The Lord is rooting them in the hands of evil, which is that money. It will cause brothers to take a bag, to bring out something that's contrary to the scriptures, or let alone they do this thinking that they're doing the Lord's work, but the Lord will actually show you what they're really doing it for. Some people are not sincere. Some people have another agenda. So this is a battle, right? Let's actually get that. Ephesians the 6th chapter and verse 12. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. That's the whole spirit, especially pushing false doctrine, a false narrative. The blind is going to lead the blind into a ditch, especially if you understand that this is false. Where if a brother could say it's no love or laws to the brothers in Genesis, if you feel something is incorrect, you're supposed to be shaking the hand, rebuking them, right? You can't have secret love in this thing, right? Let me get that. Right? And that goes for anybody. Anybody teaching some shabba dabba bullshit, right? They supposed to be getting the hand by a strong rebuke. Where is it at? Right here. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 7 and verse 5. It says, It is better to hear the rebuke of the wise than for a man to hear the song of fools, right? So you're supposed to criticize, You know, people that's going off. That's what these scriptures is, for inspiration, for correction, for reproof, for doctrine, for rebuke. We not just only rebuking Christians, those that's not in the faith. We here to rebuke all in all angles, all directions. So if it's a brother you laboring with and he going off, you're supposed to shake the hand, go into the scriptures. You know, the Lord is not dealing with no lying fucking tongue. You know, it's other things we can be teaching at MOTB, parables, dark sayings. It's especially any man coming in this walk saying a 30-day break, you can still believe. But if you have the attribute, the talent of actually teaching, and you about to take a break, you're neglecting your gift, right? Let's go back to Timothy. Let me get that real quick. This is 1 Timothy chapter 4. And I start at 12. It says, let no man despise thy youth, but be thou an example of the believers. That's not an example saying I'm taking a break and saying it loud. I'm talking to any man in conversation, in charity, in spirit, and in faith, and in purity. And you have to know, whatever we do is always going to be a teaching method. So if you take a break, it's going to make somebody else think it's okay to take a break, right? Till I come, give attendance to reading, to exhortation. So while you reading, you should be encouraging, to doctrine, right? Neglect not the gift that is in thee, which was given thee by prophecy, with the laying on the hands of the presbytery. Meditate upon these things, give thyself wholly to them, that thy profiting may appear to all. Take heed unto thyself and unto the doctrine. Continue in them, for in doing this thou shalt both save thyself and them that hear thee. Now we can understand, we can go to other precepts where you're enduring all things for the elect's sake. Especially if we're calling ourselves a man of the Lord, you're supposed to be that example, right? I've been around people teaching things falsely. I'm not with them no more. The Lord removed us from them because brothers was actually seeking that sound doctrine. This is a truth you don't want to give up, right? So teaching can change lives and lead others to salvation. Every lesson shared can plant seed of faith. So on the opposite side, if we taking breaks, dang, a sheep gonna look at that like, man, he quit. You know? Everybody can take whatever any one of us do a certain way. Now, if you're doing it for good, which like brothers on the other side, brothers be going through certain things and they still fighting. Just imagine if people knew the things that the men of the Lord be going through and they still making lessons, still taking time studying, dropping 4 lessons a day, 2 lessons a day, right? And throughout the week. It could be 12 and 15, 20 lessons throughout the week, but they going through some shit. That's fire. You know, some brothers giving up because they was following somebody for years and they walked in false doctrine. Man, I was walking with elders saying Cornelius was a damn Edomite. That this and this and that is interchangeable. I couldn't see that. So I had to come in agreement with brothers I labor with, and we had to get to going. I want to get a point. This is Matthew the 25th chapter. I don't want to probably read the whole thing, but if you got time, you want to read the parable of the talents. Matthew the 25th chapter, verse 14 to 30. Right, so basically, it illustrates the importance of using our gifts. So let me just read a little bit of it. This is Matthew the 24th chapter, verse 14. It says, "For the kingdom of heaven is as a man traveling into a far country, who called his own servants. He delivered unto them his goods." Right, and truly, the goods is this ministry, the wisdom, knowledge, understanding, which is our weapon on this side. and a spiritual power, teaching these words. And unto one he gave 5 talents, and to another 2, and to another 1, to every man according to his several ability, and straightway took his journey. So the Lord hath given us all a portion according to our abilities. Then he that had received the 5 talents went and traded with the same, and made them other 5 talents. So it's basically you doubling what you get. Okay, so if you get 2, you bring it back another 2, it makes 4. You get 8, you doubling back, you bring in 16. Okay, and likewise he had received 2, he also gained another 2. And he that had received 1 went and digged in the earth and hid his Lord's money. After a long time, the Lord of those servants cometh and reckoneth with them. And so he that received 5 talents came and brought other 5 talents, saying, Lord, thou deliverest unto me 5 talents. Behold, I have gained beside them 5 talents more. His Lord said unto him, Well done, thou good and faithful servant. Thou hast been faithful over a few things. I will make thee ruler over many things. Enter thou into the joy of thy Lord. He also that had received 2 talents came and said, Lord, thou deliverest unto me 2 talents. Behold, I have gained 2 other talents beside them. His Lord said unto him, Well done, good and faithful servant. Thou hast been faithful over a few things. I will make thee ruler over many things. Enter thou into the joy of thy Lord. Then he which had received the 1 talent came and said, Lord, I knew thee that thou art a hard man, reaping where thou hast not sown, and gathering where thou hast not strawed. And I was afraid, and went and hid thy talent in the earth. Lo, there thou hast that is thine. His Lord answered and said unto him, Thou wicked and slothful servant, thou knewest that I reap where I sowed not, and gather where I have not strawed. Thou oughtest therefore to have put my money to the exchangers, and then at my coming I shall have received my own with usury. Right? He was a slothful servant, lazy. Hey, I said I wasn't going to read all of it. Hey, might as well read the last 2. It says, Take therefore the talent from him, and give it unto him which have 10 talents. For unto every one that have shall be given, and he shall have abundance. But from him that have not shall be taken away even that thou hast. And cast ye the unprofitable servant into outer darkness. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. Man, you take 30, man, if you take a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, 7 months, a year, you taking a break, you taking a vacation from this truth, taking a vacation from the talent Yahawashi have given you to teach his word, right? You are a slothful servant. And guess what? You're going to be thrown in outer darkness, really, which is going to be the end result, being fucking destroyed, man. So teach and change lives and lead others to salvation. You take a break, you ain't leading them nowhere, right? And now that sheep is looking for food, don't know where to go. Lord willing, Yahawashi, and move them to another teacher, right? Every lesson shared can plant seeds of faith. Remember that, right? This whole thing is about us building the elect. Teaching fosters community and strengthens the body of believers. It creates a support system where faith can thrive. This is why, through the Spirit, the Lord did a great thing on this side, where you can go right on YouTube and you can see a video that was done 2 days ago, a week ago, a year ago, 2 years ago, 5 years ago, 7 years ago. Now, even with TikTok, even though the lives don't get saved, you can go and watch these videos that's put up and get edified, where if you're dealing with something, you can't remember that precept, you can't remember what somebody said, but you know that is a video, right? And hey, it's even like when something break in your house, you could just type on YouTube and find it, man. Okay? So the common obstacle when it comes to this truth is fatigue, distractions. Some brothers get fatigued, and a lot of us get distracted. Some of us doubt, and that can hinder our teaching efforts, or it can hinder our belief system when you doubt so much. Let alone if you're not rebuking the doubt, you're not rebuking the fatigue, you're not rebuking the distraction. Because some people get tired of bringing out the same precepts, the same verses. We're still in captivity. The Lord still got us out here teaching. You're going to be teaching the same thing over and over, because you have to have the mindset it's a new believer coming in each week, each day. Second Ezra, the 7th chapter, the Lord is putting people in that path one by one. That's how difficult it is. So remember the examples of biblical figures throughout the scriptures who faced challenges. Moses, Jeremiah, Ezekiel, John the Baptist, John the Revelator, Paul, right? Dan, Azariah, Hananiah, Mishael, even the 7 sons in 2nd Maccabees, the 7th chapter, even the mother, right? Eleazar, right? We could keep on going. So lean on prayer and fellowship for strength, okay? Really being connected to a body. Me as an example, I'm connected to Great Millstone, right? Starting with the brother Zion, GMS, Niagara Falls, GMS, Buffalo, and even other brothers that I know in Great Millstone, especially brothers I know on TikTok and some of the other affiliates that follow that sound doctrine. I get to fellowship with these brothers, talk to these brothers, sharpen my sword, right? Being constant with brothers that's not bringing division. Brothers is teaching something different, and they're all about edifying daily, right? So we have to make time for personal study, right? Studying the scriptures and praying. We seen when we were in 1 Timothy, the 4th chapter, right? You have to give attendance to reading and exhortation and doctrine, okay? So we have to find opportunities within our community or online to share teachings. This is why you have YouTube. No excuses, right? You don't have to be with this congregation because you don't agree with what they teaching, right? But you know the format. Go teach what you actually know. You know what I'm saying? Go teach what you know, because it's all about us motivating, encouraging fellow believers to remain active in believing, to remain active in teaching, in sharing the word of Yahawashi, because it is us brothers that's teaching that do need that type of motivation. I'm not just only teaching, I'm watching other brothers, right? I'm watching the apostles. Sometimes I might go a few days and I didn't even watch the apostles. I was watching the elder, watching a younger brother in Great Millstone, right? I might be watching multiple lessons of Montezabeth, right? Or Elder Yahawah, right? The brother Yerumia, right? The elder of South Carolina, the other elder in North Carolina. I'm a Gabar, right? It's multiple channels that I can go to be inspired. Now it can be to be getting edified to get this breakdown, right? Which can be a chapter, prophecy, parable, or like Apostle Gabar's Tuesday live that they're gonna be doing today. Watch those and be consistent with watching that. They doing chapters. Watch the brother Baquar, he's doing chapter joints, right? If I gotta dip my hand back into the classic lessons of the apostles, Apostle Rumla, Apostle Gabar, Apostle Tahar, to sharpen my memory on certain points, right? Go to the GMS archives, right? GMS, the milk, elders, the milk, right? It's multiple pages that I can go to get inspired, motivated, a lesson, right? Because brothers can be bringing out something I already went over, but there's a certain point that they said it might inspire me to do a lesson, So constantly keep your foot on the gas. Just because a brother fall, just because there's weak niggas in here, That should not be the cause of you taking a break. And through the Spirit, that kind of shows you don't care about the sheep. This is for any man. And even for me, if I ever watch this video again, do not take your hand off the plow. If the Lord set you up to be a teacher, don't stop doing it. Because if you stop, you should be knowing. You should be knowing that that could be a sign the Lord is spewing you out from your position. Right? That course is done when it's done. That course is not done when America is still open for shop. So I'm going to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahawah, by Hashem Yahawashi, by Hashem Rakakwadash, Brakati Yahawah, Brakati Yahawashi. Double honors to the elder apostles and the elders of great millstone who rule well and teach well through the Spirit. And a mighty shalom to the hopeful elect in the same spirit and sound doctrine scattered four corners of the earth. Lord, willing that y'all continue in sound doctrine, being diligent and sincere. Shalom to the Aquaf, the sisters of this faith and this truth. Continue in your lot. And Lord, willing, Yahawah Shemashai has mercy on the other brothers and sisters that's not in the faith. Again, reflect on the importance of your role in this ministry, especially if you are a teacher. Commit to a plan for consistency and engagement in this work, right? We're working for the Lord. Don't be slothful in business. Be about your Father's business. With that, shalom, shalom, abba, shalom.